Warframe 1999, the biggest update of the year, is right around the corner, and you want to be prepared for that. So, in today's video, I'm going to tell you how to best set up your account for Warframe 1999 to have a head start and get all the juicy rewards as fast as possible. Big shoutouts to all the generous channel members who helped me keep the lights on, and now, let's jump right into it. Alright, first of all, let's quickly talk about release date. As I just said, Warframe 99 is right around the corner, however, we still do not have the exact release date provided by the developers. One thing we do know is that they want to give us further details on that live from the Game Awards, which happens to be on 12th of December, and some voices in the community are speculating that they just might release the whole thing live on stage right there. So if you have time, definitely try to keep an eye on the Game Awards and be prepared to jump into Warframe on 12th of December just in case. However, even if it doesn't happen on 12th of December, I don't think we're going to wait all that much longer because the devs have already announced that they don't want to release the thing in late December to have the ability to have 1 or 2 weeks of in-office time before the Christmas holidays to iron out any bugs or glitches that come with the release so that we don't have to endure a broken Warframe during the Christmas time. According to this game plan, mid-December would be the absolute latest point possible for them to release it, so I would speculate it's not all that long anymore. But alright, that's what we know about the release date so far. Stay tuned for more details soon. Let's now talk about what you actually want to do in-game to prepare for the release of Warframe 1999, and here I want to start out with, well, being able to play the new update on release in the first place. See, at many occasions already, the devs have stated that Warframe 1999 will be set at the very end of what we have right now, and in order to access it, you will have to have the Deviri quest finished, as well as the Lotus Eater's mini quest, which is at the very end of the current Warframe storyline, even after Whispers in the Wall. So, what that means for you is, if you are eager to try out Warframe 1999, but you haven't finished the whole storyline of Warframe till this point, then that would definitely be something to focus on in the upcoming days. But on the other hand again, as always, Warframe updates are not time-gated, meaning even if you can't play right at release, it's always going to be there and you're not going to miss out. The next thing I want to talk about, and this is kind of a small thing but I think still important, would be Mastery Rank. Why on earth is that important now? See, in the last dev stream, the team gave us a closer insight on how exactly the new update will be laid out, so to speak. And from that, it becomes relatively obvious that the structure is the same as for the Zeraman 10.0 update, the same as for the Whispers in the Wall update, where we get a new hub world, this being the Abandoned Mall, with a new tileset and a new syndicate that is part of this microcosm. So in order to unlock all the new goodies as soon as possible, you will of course have to level up with that syndicate, as we also see right here in the background. And if you want to do that as fast as possible, then having a higher mastery rank is definitely helpful because the amount of daily standing that you can gain with any syndicate is based on your mastery rank. So the higher your mastery rank, the more standing you can get per day with the syndicate. So if you have the time in the upcoming days, maybe you can squeeze out 1 or 2 more MRs maybe, which could make all the difference in maybe unlocking everything with the syndicate 1 day earlier. And now that we're already speaking about leveling up the syndicate, let's also talk about resource farming. With 1999 bringing its own new tileset, the city of Helvania, there will of course be a whole new set of resources that you're probably gonna need to craft all the stuff that is attached to 1999. But not just that, we have already seen in the dev stream that there will also be again these special resources that you can pick up in a level and then trade in with the syndicate for more standing. Stuff like the Void Plumes in the Zeraman 10.0 tileset or the Vokov from the Intradi Labs. You will then be able to trade in these items for standing with Letty, as we also see in the background right here, and I could also very well imagine that you're gonna need some of them to purchase the eventual syndicate level ups. So, what am I up to right here? See, one thing that has always helped me personally in the past was having a dedicated crate breaker Warframe with which you can just run through the level, break everything in a huge AoE, and then pick up all the resources that came from those containers. You might want to consider maybe getting one of those frames. As for who that would be, there are 2 main options in the game right now. One would be Limbo, where you can just cast your ultimate to create a huge AoE which breaks all the containers, as well as Zaku, who works pretty much the same with their 4th ability, also breaking containers through walls. In terms of modding, it's pretty darn simple. Go for as much range as you can, some energy efficiency because you want to spam that skill quite a bit, and then the rest is up to your personal preference. One thing that I very highly recommend though would be, if you have access to it, the helmet ability Golden Instinct. If you put this on your Warframe, then it is gonna automatically search out and find those specific hidden items in the level that you need to level up the Syndicate. Worked very well with the Void Plumes as well as the Voca in the past. And as always, if you could maybe leave a like on the video, that would be super helpful for the YouTube algorithm, so cheers so much for your support. But now, let's talk about two old Warframes who get some much needed love and attention in the new update, those being Nyx and Trinity. If you followed the last two dev streams, then I'm not gonna break any news to you right now, but Nyx and Trinity are both gonna get light reworks that bring them more in line with what the meta is looking like right now in Warframe, so they feel less clunky and more useful to play in 2024. If you haven't heard anything about this already, then you can either check out the details on the Warframe website, or you can also watch my last two dev stream recaps where I went over the announced changes for both of these frames. So, in case you like the idea of playing the new Trinity and Nyx, then you might want to consider farming them and building them before the update launches so you can give them a go as soon as it drops. As for how to get them, for both you can buy the main blueprint in the market just from credits, and then for Trinity the component blueprints will be accessible from the Ambulus boss fight on Pluto, and then for Nyx you would get the component blueprints from the Forward boss fight, which is the Infested Invasion Assassination mission. However, you might not have to do that at all, because you can snipe a free Nyx if you just watch at least 30 minutes of the Game Awards livestream on December 12th. All you need to do for that is link your Twitch account to your Warframe account, tune into the Game Awards livestream for at least 30 minutes, and then you will get a free Nyx including the Warframe slot to your account, meaning even if you don't want Nyx, you can just sell her off and enjoy the free slot. And even if you can't make it to the Game Awards livestream, still no problem, the devs did announce that there will be an alert from December 12th to December 19th in the game where you can play a mission to also get a free Nyx. The next topic is going to be a big one for many of you out there, especially the newer Tenno, and that would be the big Prime Resurgence event at the end of the year. See, as we all know, Prime Resurgence is this thing where, on a monthly basis, we get access to the relics of two Prime Warframes with their respective weapons and cosmetics. However, the devs did announce that at the end of the year, there will be a Prime Resurgence event where they cycle through a lot of Prime Warframes in a very short time frame. We already had such a thing last year, and here is the graphic on how that looked like and how many Prime Warframes you could get out of it. And this is also going to return this year. Meaning, if there are certain Prime Warframes that you absolutely want to have, but you haven't had the chance to farm them just yet, then this is the time of the year for you. And in order to prepare for that, my personal recommendation would be farming as much Aya as possible, because that is the resource that you will need to purchase the corresponding relics from Varzia Dax, and you can pre-farm this Aya already. The best ways to do so would be to either play the Void Capture mission, because there you're guaranteed to either receive a relic or one Aya as a mission reward, or you go and grind open world bounties, because also there Aya is in the reward pool. Some other additions that will come with Warframe 1999 will be 7 new arcanes as well as 50 new mods. Unfortunately, they didn't say anything about what these things will be, but if you want to be able to get all of them as soon as possible, then one thing you can already do is pre-farm the resource called Phosphor that you need to buy arcane packs. Now, it's not guaranteed that the new arcanes will be available from Phosphor in one of those packs right from the get-go. This is just a speculation from my part right now, but in case they are, then it would be a cool thing if you had as much Phosphor as possible. Some great ways to farm Phosphor would be, of course, playing the Void Cascade game mode on the Zeraman 10.0 in the Steel Path version, because this way you get a lot of arcane drops, and then you can go to Lloyd in the Sanctum Anatomica and melt those arcanes down for Phosphor, which you can then use to purchase more packs. But there's also another nice method, and that is you can buy Phosphor from your Syndicate standing in the orbiter right here, so in case you have a lot of standing to spare and don't know what to do with it, might be a good idea. As for the 15 new mods, I have no idea how they are going to be accessible, but I would assume if you want to max them out quickly, then it would also not be the worst idea to pre-farm some endo. Now, one major part of this update that has been announced but unfortunately delayed till early 2025 would be the Infested Lich system. However, once it drops, you might want to get some of those Infested Lich weapons for yourself. Now, the devs did say that they won't rely on this Requiem mod system that we've used for the Grineer and Corpus liches so far, but there will be a whole new system implemented, meaning pre-farming Requiem mods and stuff is not necessary. However, just like with the other liches, you will also have a railjack part, meaning if you're into infested liches, you might want to make sure that your railjack is not completely vanilla. I don't think it has to be all too crazy, but I personally would always recommend updating your railjack with more health, more armor, and just, put some improved guns into it, ideally also 2 gunner crewmates who can man those turrets, and that then should be more than enough for the railjack part of those lich hunts. And speaking about the infested lich weapons, I think they said it would be 13 new weapons coming with the infested liches. Each and every one of them, just like the other lich weapons, can also go up to level 40 with up to 5 forma, which means if you're a completionist, you're gonna need a whole lot of forma, which you could already start pre-farming right now. So run your relics, ideally in a public squad, get the forma blueprints, and get building them in your foundry. One nice tip to speed this process up would be to install the Warframe Companion app on your phone, because with this, you can empty out your foundry and restart the foundry process from your phone without having to log into the game itself. And finally, and I'm gonna make this one quick, Platinum. One thing that is going to be very big in this update will be the new Gemini skins and cosmetics. The devs did already post a price list on their website on how much those items are going to cost, and you can purchase them from real money directly, but they also said that each and every individual Gemini skin is going to be available from Platinum in the in-game market. So, if there's a certain skin that you really want to get, then you might want to farm some stuff to sell to other players and trade with them to get some Platinum to be able to buy the skin that you like. If you want to have some ideas which items always sell good and how to farm Platinum easily, I already made a guide on this. It's a bit of an older video, but I'd say most of the strategies from that video are still viable, so it's worth a watch. When Warframe 1999 releases, we're of course going to talk about all the new content here on the channel. So, if you don't want to miss out on that day one, then you might want to consider maybe leaving the channel a sub. Welcome to the crew. Another massive shout out to Niels V, Demon Lord Zell, Demon Emperor, Emperor Prime, Nostalix Gaming, Turtle Pier, Lycra and Shepherd, Onlakanio2, Pepper Wolf, Streamjet21, Synapking 5000, Mihawk HE, Yagis, Hoke Hunter, Noob Phoenix, and all other generous channel members for your continuous support. We see each other, hopefully in the next one, and until then, as always, good loot.